Just a heads up, this video contains spoilers for the Animal Farm book. So if you don't want any of those, you might want to get out of here. Don't worry, won't hurt my feelings. But if you do stick around, I hope you enjoy the video. Recently, the story of Animal Farm has become somewhat popular on social media. This has to do with the release of the new Animal Farm movie. No, that's the one from 1954. That's the one from 1999. Ah, yes, that one from 2026. It just came out, and I've seen it get a lot of hate recently online. Let's just say it's not doing too well on IMDb. It seems a lot of people are complaining about the story and ending being changed from the original book, which got me thinking. I've never actually read the book. Sure, I've heard about the story and I knew the basic premise of the book, but that's not the same as consuming the literature for yourself. So I decided to listen to an audiobook version of it, and then I found a free PDF of the book online, and I just kind of started consuming each line of text. Oh, and kind of a side note, I'm not trying to plug anything, but Andy Serkis, the voice of Gollum, does a narration of the book, and while he doesn't do the Gollum voice, precious, he does do an amazing job narrating and voicing the characters. And I guess on less of a side note, more of a regular note, Mr. Serkis also directed the 2026 movie, which is also probably why he narrated the book now that I think about it. I'm sure those go hand in hand. Okay, never mind. These are just regular notes. You're taking notes, right? I know I am. I have plenty of notes on Animal Farm after reading it, and the first one is it's not a kid's story. Keeping the explanation of the book very simple, it's a somewhat depressing and cautionary tale about barnyard animals who rise up against their oppressive master and owner of the farm, Mr. Jones, in order to create a utopia where all animals can live in peace and be treated equally. Only it doesn't end up working, and a new oppressive master, a pig by the name of Napoleon, rises up from amongst their ranks to rule the farm with an iron cloven hoof. It's a story that satirizes the Russian Revolution of 1917 and the following rule of Stalin that results in the rise of the Soviet Union. So the book takes some inspiration from real-life historical events, and the Animal Farm book does not have a happy ending. It ends with Napoleon becoming like man and ruling over the farm as Mr. Jones did, except for even more ruthlessly and orderly, leaving the animals in an even worse state than before. If you do want a happy story about animals rising up against their oppressive masters, go watch Chicken Run. Spoilers, they beat the bad guy in that one. And it sounds like the 2026 Animal Farm movie is also taking the beat the bad guy route. At least from what I'm seeing online, because I still haven't seen it. But from the few clips I've seen, I feel like I better understand why people are mad about this movie. Personally, when I see anything about it now, I just kind of go, huh, really? But I'm still gonna watch this eventually. I'm just gonna wait till it's somewhere on streaming. I'd rather waste my money on video games than wasting it on going to the theater to watch this movie. And funny enough, there is an Animal Farm video game I can go waste my money on. And it's only $9.99, which is still $5 cheaper than going to the theater. Now, in regards to this game, you might find yourself thinking, that's an odd book to turn into a video game. What would it even be like? For me, my first thought was it might be a third or first-person perspective game where you play as farm animals and fight against humans. Then I thought maybe it could just be a farming simulator with some sort of resource management to it. Or it could possibly be a game where you get to run around as a critter and live in a society run by animals. Finally, I thought it could be a game where the Soviet Union has taken over and you must rise up to fight back against their tyranny. But no, none of the above. Developed by Nariel and published by the Dairyman, Orwell's Animal Farm was released December 10th, 2020, and is a text-based, choice-driven narrative game with a storybook-like look to it. It has numerous characters from the book, such as Benjamin the donkey, Boxer the cart horse, Snowball the pig, heck, it even has Moses the raven in it. However, certain characters do get kind of mushed together, like the dogs. Bluebell, Jessie, and Pincher from the book are all just referred to as dogs here, which is okay, it's not the end of the world. The gameplay itself is super simple, consisting of just clicking on animals and having them perform tasks every day, such as gathering food, propagandizing to other farms in the region, or building up defenses to fight against the humans. Not that the fights are really that epic. Again, it's just having animals make choices, such as to lead the other animals into battle or to be the one that personally attacks. It's still a text-based game at heart. Although the pictures that accompany the game do add quite a bit. I especially want to give this image some credit. Snowball has been shot in the back here, and that does happen in the book. In fact, that's not the only thing that comes from the book. Major the pig that stirs rebellion into the hearts of the farm animals and then dies 3 days later appears in the beginning of the game. Moses the raven pops up and talks about Sugar Candy Mountain, or heaven. The cat that votes and causes a little chaos by voting for both sides of an argument is right here. The sheep that bleat 4 legs good, 2 legs bad are over here. The laws of animalism are written and over time rewritten at multiple points during this game. The animals have to deal with Mr. Jones, Mr. Frederick, and Mr. Pilkington quite a few times throughout the game. The windmill is built and destroyed in this portion of the game. Boxer is sent to his death right here. And finally, Napoleon does end up taking over the farm and becoming just like man in the end. I feel the developers did a wonderful job putting many moments from the book into the game, but as I played, I realized some things did deviate from the original story. In the book, Molly the horse was supposed to defect to the humans because she missed eating sugar cubes and having ribbons in her hair, but in the game, she stuck around till almost the end and was ripped apart by dogs. I never ended up meeting Mr. Whymper, the lawyer. In the book, he helps Animal Farm trade with humans, but he never made an appearance in my playthrough. And probably the weirdest thing was a camel from a traveling circus popping up. That wasn't in the book at all. But the camel did arrive because it heard about Animal Farm from birds that were spreading animalism across the countryside, which does happen in the book. Birds do go around spreading animalism and teaching the song Beasts of England to various other animals on different farms. Now, before I go bagging on this game for not being exactly like the book, I want to go back to this right here in the game description. A text-based, choice-driven narrative game. It makes a lot of sense for a game that's being adapted from a book to take this route of gameplay. You can kind of just copy and paste passages and quote characters from the book, which is exactly what this game does. But the fact that it's choice-driven also means this game has multiple endings. 8 to be exact. And that means the game can deviate at times from the book if you don't make the right choices. Or, in the case of Animal Farm, I guess wrong choices might be more appropriate. This is why I missed out on meeting certain characters, and I had other characters deviate from their fate in the book. I was a little frustrated when I realized this, but luckily the game does have a sort of cheat sheet you can follow in order to match the book. In the farmhouse, there is a handbook with various pages showing characters and achievements you can go for. But on the very first page, the one called Destinies, it shows events that come from the book. Events that need to happen during the game in order for it to be as accurate as the original book as it can be. I ended up finding this kind of fun since I've read the book. I knew what certain animals needed to do at certain times in order for those events to transpire, and it was really fun trying to find the right path to get it to match up with the book. This leads me to the only problem I really have with this game, and in a way, it's also not a problem. I feel like you need to read the book before you play this game. It's a roadmap for the game, and it helps you see if you're playing the game toward the original ending of the book, which for me is what made this game fun. I will give a quick little disclaimer and state I'm not the biggest fan of text-based, choice-driven narrative games, or point-and-click adventure games, which this game is, even though it's very, very basic in terms of point-and-click adventures. I don't enjoy either type of game very often. I find them kind of boring. So that's a big reason I feel this way about reading the book first. Most of my fun came from matching up what was similar and what was different between the two. So if you enjoy text-based games or simple point-and-click adventures, this one might be amazing for you. But whether it is or it isn't, personally, I feel if you haven't read the book, go give it a read before giving this game a try. Heck, you should read it even if you don't want to play this game. It's an eye-opening book, and it's really easy to find online for free. Plus, it's pretty short, being around 100 pages depending on the print you get, if you decide to buy it. Listening to it is also pretty quick, depending on the version you purchase. Most of them are around 3 to 4 hours listening time. This being because different narrators read at different speeds. I really think giving it a read is worth it before consuming any other version of Animal Farm in any other form of media. As I said in the beginning of the video, I still haven't seen the new movie, so I don't truly know how bad it is, or how much it deviates from the book. But I do want to give it at least one piece of praise. It got me to finally listen to and read the book. Plus, it inspired me to go look for the Orwell's Animal Farm video game and give it a try. Overall, I had a lot of fun doing this. So, I'd consider this overall experience a win. Alright, I think that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you learned something. I hope you found a game you might want to give a try. I hope you have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.